Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Ordinary Wisdom Podcast. This week, we are joined with none other than Mr. Matthew Harrell. We're excited to have him on. He's doing some great things here at Anderson University. We apologize for not having an episode this past week. We've got a lot of things going on, but we've got some great episodes coming up. So yeah, how's your day been, Matthew?
It's been good. Thanks for having me on. It's good to be here. It's been a good day. It's busy. Getting back from fall break. So yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. I guess we'll just start from the beginning. Your childhood. What is your most fondest childhood memory?
Most fondest childhood memory. I wouldn't say it's a very good memory, but when I was about 4 or 5, I was wrestling with my dad in our living room, and we had a glass top coffee table, and he was wrestling me, and he was throwing me around, and he threw me into the coffee table. I hit my head. It's still a scar right here.
Wow.
Right on my forehead, bust open like halfway down my forehead, and we had rushed to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, he didn't know what to do because like he just like threw it. I was like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
He threw me, and I had a concussion. I had blood dripping down my face. Had to get like 16 stitches in. So that's probably my most fondest child. It's not a good memory, but when I think back to my childhood, that's probably the first thing I think about because my dad and I always roughhoused all the time.
Yeah.
So that's probably my easiest to remember. So,
Yeah, that's great. I could countless times. Me and my dad would wrestle, or even me and my sisters, or my dad and my sisters would wrestle. They get hurt. So where did you grow up?
So I grew up in Hartsville, South Carolina. I don't know if you know where that is.
You do not.
It's you're from Hawaii,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Hartsville is about 3 hours from here. It's a very small town.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say it's the closest to Columbia. It's about an hour from Columbia. You can get to Columbia pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
So Hartsville, small town, very warm feeling community. Everyone knows each other. My entire side of my dad's family lived there, so I was with my family all the time.
Yeah.
I made so many good friends, all of whom made the stupid decision of going to Clemson University. But yeah, so we're South Carolina fans, so I can't understand that.
Yeah.
But so Hartsville, South Carolina. I wasn't born there. I was born in Hickory, North Carolina, which is about an hour from where I live now.
Yeah.
You probably know where that is. And so I lived there for 8 or 9 months before we moved to Hartsville, and I lived there for maybe 10, 12 years before we moved to Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Awesome. That's great. How do you like the small town dynamic as opposed to, I don't know if you've probably been to some kind of city like Columbia.
Mm-hmm.
So like, how do you like the small town dynamic as opposed to like the big city?
So growing up, South Carolina fans, we went to Columbia a lot for games.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's a city. Winston-Salem, where I live now, is a fairly decent-sized city.
Mm-hmm.
Greenville, we spent a lot of time in Greenville. I spend more time there now, being at AU. But I like the small town better, in my opinion. It's just feels like a more cozy environment. More community among people. Everyone knows each other. Everyone's nice to each other. It's not like New York City where you're like walking and people trying to run you over with a car. It's just people are just rude up there.
Mm-hmm.
But down here, it's like it's in the South, so everyone's more friendly anywhere you go, really.
Yeah.
So I'd say small town environment's much better than a big city.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I definitely get that.
Yeah. Tell us about school. Like, were you homeschooled, public school, private?
Yeah, so I went to a public school, K through 5th. It's, you don't really get the full public school experience in elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad and my mom both went to public school when they were in middle and high school. And I don't think we're going to be sending you to a public school. So starting in 6th grade from middle school, I went to a private Christian school in Winston-Salem with about 60 kids in each grade, very small. They didn't have a football team, and it's actually K through 12, so you could go there your entire life. I only went from 6th grade all the way until I graduated, and I loved it. Made a lot of friends. And I think that it was a good choice for me. Which is why I chose to come to Anderson because small environment, small class sizes, small student body, very warm, friendly campus. It was the same type of dynamic as my high school and my middle school, which is what I liked about Anderson. And I think it was easier for me to thrive in an environment like that and with 300 people in some college lecture class where I can't focus and I'll just be playing something on my iPad or something. So.
Yeah.
Did you like going to a private school? Well, okay, I guess. How do you think private school benefits people?
So, for me, I know some private schools are massive, and some private schools are even bigger than some public schools, because there's a lot of small public schools. But for my private school, it was so small, and we had maybe an average of 15 kids in each class. That benefited me and many of my friends because the teachers were able to relate to the students more and give more one-on-one instruction rather than have a 30-person class, one teacher just lecturing for an hour and a half. So I think that helped me, being able to talk to my teacher more about assignments and stuff without having to wait too long for a response because she didn't have so many people to respond to. And then also I would say being in a class that small allowed me to be more like friendly with everybody else, not just I don't even know that person on the other side of the room. I don't even know the name. But I knew everybody's name. I knew everybody in my grade, which is really something special. And on a personal level too, not just that's John, he plays baseball. Yeah, I know. Like on a personal level, I knew everybody, and my family liked to get involved in my friends' lives too. It was something special at my high school where we got to know everybody, and we got to be friends with everybody as well. So
yeah. I guess being in the South, we'll get to what's really important: sports. So I know talking to you before, you're a big sports guy. What kind of sports were you playing?
So primarily, I played baseball and basketball. My dad played football. He tried to get me to play football. My mom wouldn't let me play football. I would have wanted to play football, but she wouldn't budge on that. My dad played football in high school, and my grandpa coached 32 years football, baseball, and basketball in high school. So we're a big sports-oriented family, all aspects, every single sport pretty much. I played a little bit of soccer when I was younger. I think everyone plays soccer.
Oh yeah, I did too.
But primarily when I got older, in middle and high school, I played baseball and basketball. And I played travel all year round baseball. I was going to Florida, California. I was going everywhere playing baseball. So it's been something I've played since I was 4 years old, so about 14 years. And I finished my baseball career at the end of my senior year. But we're a big sport. We love all sports teams. We like, South Carolina's our big. That's where my dad went to college. We also are big Wake Forest Demon Deacons fans. That's where my mom went to school. So, yeah, we just love sports. All my family. So.
Yeah. I know I've met a lot of athletes here who were athletes in high school and maybe even were good enough to make it to the next level, but just didn't make that decision. So I guess, what was kind of that process for you, like deciding not to play and just kind of transitioning away from something that was such a big part of your life?
Yeah, so I had always thought that I wanted to play college baseball for the University of South Carolina. That was my biggest dream. But as I got, maturing in not only, my baseball or athletic ability, but also my academic ability, I was like, maybe a smaller environment with a really good academic program is better than going to some school like South Carolina. So, starting my sophomore year of high school, I started focusing more on academics than I did athletics. So I was, at that point I stopped playing basketball to focus on baseball. Because baseball was like my life. And then I started to decrease the baseball a little bit. I was still playing year round, but I started to decrease how much effort and time I put into it and work more on my school to get me to a spot like this. And so the coach here at Anderson, the baseball coach, when my grandpa was coaching high school baseball for 32 years, he actually coached Anderson's coach.
Okay, cool.
So Anderson's coach reached out to me halfway through my senior year, and he was like, "Hey, I know your grandpa. I played for him in high school. Would there be any chance you want to play for my team?" And I said, "Thanks, but no thanks." Pretty much. He says the option's always open in case I want to try again later, but for now, I want to focus on my career goals for the future. I want to focus on trying new things here on campus, rather than just being an athletic geek like I've been my entire life. So.
Yeah, oh man, that must have been pretty tough, but I admire you for making that decision. Yeah, I guess we'll transition to college. How did you choose Anderson? How did you, like, of all the places to go, how was Anderson reach the top of that list?
So, being from South Carolina, I knew a little bit about Anderson since I grew up here for so long, but I didn't really know a ton about Anderson. So, funny story actually. Last year, back in like August when we started my senior year, I was like, I'm going to South Carolina. I wasn't even planning on playing baseball. I was just going there for school because that's like my favorite school.
Yeah.
And it still is. I would cheer for South Carolina today.
Yeah.
But so I was like, I'm going to South Carolina. And my college counselor at my high school came up to me back like the secondary school back in August. She was like, "Hey, why don't you look at Anderson University?" I said, "Where is Anderson? I've heard a little bit about it, but I don't know where it is. I don't know really what type of school it is." She was like, "Well, maybe you should just give it a try and see what you think."
Yeah.
So I did some research. I got a tour scheduled for November, and my mom and I came and we toured. And after my tour, I was like, "This is the spot for me," because it's like small environment, which is what I've always been, what I've always thrived in, and I thought this was the place. So
yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. Do you think, like, actually, sorry, I kind of want to go back to childhood. What are some lessons that you learned from just, like, in general, like, parents, school, sports, stuff like that?
So, I'll give you one lesson I learned from each of my, what I call my top three parental figures in my life. So, my dad and my mom, of course, and my grandpa. So, my grandpa is probably the one who was most disappointed in me for not coming to college to play sports.
Yeah.
So when it comes to what he taught me, I'd say it was basically just to work hard on the field. Nobody's ever given anything. He played college baseball. He played in the minor leagues for a few years as well. He got drafted out of college, and he told me the story one time where he grew up in a very poor family. This was in like 1940s. He grew up in a poor family in Virginia. They didn't have anything besides one car and a house for both his parents. He had to walk to school because his parents couldn't afford the gas to drive him to school. And the only thing they could afford was gas to drive him to work. But he loved baseball. He dreamed of playing college baseball one day. His freshman and sophomore year of high school, he got cut from the high school baseball team.
Wow.
And he would go home every day after school, and he was a pitcher. He painted like a rectangle on the wall of their house, and he would sit there for like 3 hours every single afternoon throwing baseball against that thing to see how many strikes he could throw. And his junior year, he made the baseball team at his high school, but he didn't play but only one game. Fast forward to his senior year, he made it again. He played in 5 games. Well, his family had a connection with a coach at Wingate Junior College. They're actually in Anderson's conference now. Yeah. But it was a junior college at that time, so you only go 2 years and then you're transferring out. Well, the connection was for him to go there for free and just play on the baseball team. They didn't guarantee him how much playing time he would get, but
they're just like,
he was like, college baseball, that's what he's been dreaming of, that's what he's worked for, and that's what he's going to continue to work for. Well, he got to Wingate, and he had practiced so much over the past year that he was able to be a starting pitcher on their team for 2 years.
That's awesome.
And then after he had to transfer out there, he was like, well, I'm never going to play baseball again. But he ended up being able to go to Wake Forest to join their team, and he played there for 2 years and then got drafted. Moral of the story is he never gave up on his dreams, and that's something he taught me a long time ago. I've had failures in baseball and basketball, and I've always beat myself up when I do something wrong. But he always taught me just get back up, try again, and just work hard. My dad, this will be much shorter. It's very simple. He taught me respect, and he taught me to respect other people. He taught me to respect my mom first. He would not like it if I disrespected my mom when I was a kid. He would not go very well.
Yeah.
But so he taught me to respect my mom. He taught me to respect my teachers and people I interacted with, and he taught me to respect my friends. And that's something that's really stuck with me because being here as an adult, I respect the people above me, obviously, because they're above me, but then I also respect people who are below me, like my sister, who may not have as much maturity as me. I still respect her. I work at a summer camp in the summer where we work with like first and second graders, and I respect them just like I would want them to respect me. So that's what my dad taught me. And my mom, she's the academic weapon out of the family. She's the one that taught me to work hard in school, keep up my grades, because she taught me that the goals in life, like getting in a good institution like Anderson University, would only come from hard work in school. And while it's maybe tedious to sit here and study for 3 hours at night when you'd rather be watching sports or something, it pays off in the end. So I'd say that's the advice I've gotten.
Let's see. I guess we'll come back to college. What is your major here at Anderson?
So I'm a business management major, and I minor in political science.
Nice.
So my dad's the business guy. He, all his stuff is business. So that's why I wanted to do that. Political science. I've always been involved in politics. I've loved the government, learning about the government, and I'm keeping a law career open at some point. So that's why I want to go political science.
Yeah, that's awesome. It hasn't been too long yet, but I guess what is the most important or useful thing that you've learned so far from college?
I've learned how to better time management and study habits. Going back to high school, I got through without hardly having to study outside of class. I was able to finish all my homework in class. So when I got out of class that day, I would be done for the day. I would go to baseball practice and go to sleep. Well, now there's much more time in the day between all classes. Not as many classes, and I've had to learn to study more because there's a lot more work, a lot more reading. So I'd say learning how to balance my time and not like after I get out of a class going back to sleep or going to do something fun, but maybe looking at my notes or looking at a book just to kind of keep it fresh in my mind.
How has the adjustment been so far from like high school to adult life now?
It's been good. I've actually really enjoyed the first couple months of college. I haven't really had any problems. Like I haven't been homesick. I haven't had problems with my classes yet. I've been enjoying meeting people, making friends, hanging out with my friends. We just sometimes we'll sit in our hall and just chat. It's just fun to do. Because in high school we interacted with our friends during the day. But we would go home, and a lot of times, unless it's the weekend, we would just go do our own thing in the evening. Well, here in college, we are always with our friends, always with our classmates. So we'll just go eat together. We'll hang out together. We'll go play basketball together. So it's been really fun to be able to make friends like that here.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I don't know if people know this, but you are one of the leaders of the new Turning Point USA chapter here in Anderson. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I actually have the honor of serving as the president for our new Turning Point chapter here in Anderson County. I think the first thing that's important to note is it's not associated with Anderson University. It's associated with the county. For all the viewers, so they just know that. So it's not actually on here on campus. We're not allowed to meet at campus. We're not allowed to post flyers. We're not allowed to advertise here at campus. Anderson has some strict political organization stipulations that we just wouldn't be able to follow in order to push Turning Point's full movement.
Mm-hmm.
So we are associated with the county. Obviously, all Anderson students are welcome to join.
Yeah, but it's also open to
It's also open to the public. People at Tri-County, even Clemson, that may not have a chapter. So it's been really good. We had our first event yesterday. We had 75 people come out to that. It was social, so we just made a couple remarks, but we just ate a lot of food, played a lot of games, and just got to meet some people. So it's been good so far. We have an event on Monday with the Anderson County Republican Party. We'll be at their event giving a presentation on our mission and our values and stuff like that.
So what are those? What are your missions and values?
So our top mission is to educate, train, and inspire the young generation of particularly college students, but anywhere between 18 to 24 years old. So really the young adult population we're not pushing a certain narrative, we're not pushing a certain political party, but we're educating people on values based on biblical truths. Which is what Turning Point's mission is. It's not like to say, oh yeah, vote for this candidate because this is a Republican candidate and he's the good guy. No, we're not doing that. We're educating people on biblical truths, which they can then make their own decision on who the right candidate is for them.
Yeah. I think that's really important in the current political landscape, just because of it's very polarizing. Like either being a Democrat or Republican, but I like that mission of just making sure that God is first and that those values are upheld. On that kind of note, what is your belief system and your religion?
So I've grown up in church. I've grown up Baptist. We've always gone to a Southern Baptist church. My mom works for the International Mission Board.
Okay, awesome.
Which they're headquartered in Richmond, Virginia. She gets to work from home though, but she goes there twice a month to do some board meetings and stuff. She's their alumni director.
Okay, cool.
So with her job, she's had that job for 3 or 4 years now. Before that, she was at Wake Forest. But when she got that job, they prefer all of their employees to be members of a Southern Baptist church. Which wasn't a problem for us. We've always been members of the Southern Baptist church. And I like it. It's a good environment. I believe it's a very friendly environment, especially being in a church the farther south you go. There's more community there. But I've grown up in church my entire life, so.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know for me, there was sort of like an evaluating period of like, because I know there's many different denominations, like is this the denomination that I want to continue with? Have you ever, experienced that, or are you just Southern Baptist all the way?
Southern Baptist all the way.
Yeah.
Something about Baptists that I've learned from a very early age was they don't tend to flee to other denominations. Not saying other denominations are bad.
Yeah.
It's just something about the Baptist denomination that it's a community thing where you don't just leave that denomination. I'm saying like Presbyterian, Lutheran, Methodist, those are all good denominations. But with us, we just tend to stay inside of our group.
Yeah, like
so.
Yeah. I've grown up fundamental independent Baptist, and I've stayed with that. It's the Baptists are great. Let's see here. Politics, I guess. I don't know if I heard something interesting from my history teacher the other day. He said that kind of like what you were saying about Turning Point, that he doesn't affiliate with a certain party because he's a Christian. He believes that leads into everything that he does in his life. So his allegiance is, of course, first to the Lord. So what are your, political beliefs? Are you part of a party, or do you choose to, necessarily stay sort of separate from that?
So, with Turning Point, we don't like to campaign for any particular candidate.
Yeah.
We like the young generation to make their mind up based on what we talk to them about. I would say for me, I tend to lean more conservative. I believe, and many people disagree with me on this, but I believe most of the values from the Bible line up with conservative values.
Yeah.
So that's why I lean more conservative. I know some people like to obviously everyone should put their first allegiance to God. But
Yeah.
in my opinion, and this is what I've taught since I was growing up, most of the values that are talked about in the Bible line up with conservative values.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's awesome. I guess the kind of final thing that we'll transition to is sort of relationships.
Okay.
What's your most important relationship, I guess, besides the Lord?
So, I have 3 really important relationships. Can I do?
Yeah,
really
that's
fast?
awesome.
Okay,
That's great.
so I'm sorry I'm yapping a lot, but so
That's why
I'll
you're
give you
here.
3. So I'd say first would be both my parents.
Mm-hmm.
They're very different in ways.
mhm.
My dad's a little more hardcore.
Yeah.
He demands a lot of respect, but he
Yeah.
also has taught me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
My mom's a little more lenient as far as like what she's yelling at me, and so she never yells. She's
Mm-hmm.
very calm,
Yeah.
but she does like to protect what I do, and
Mhm.
she watches me and makes sure that I'm on the right path.
Yeah.
And so I'd say both of those, I've really respected them. So I'd say those 2 go hand in hand. Another relationship would be my girlfriend Caroline. She's been very supportive as we've started Turning Point.
Yeah.
It's obviously what happened with Charlie Kirk and what's happening with many of the movements like this. Not necessarily conservative movements, but more faith-based movements.
Mhm.
It's just turning into violent things that's happening, and it just shouldn't be that way.
Yeah.
And there is risk that goes into it. There have been some attacks on some Turning Point events over the past couple of weeks since the
Mhm.
assassination, and it just shouldn't happen. So there is some risk, and Carol's been very supportive as we've gone into this, and it's just been really good to, she was at our event last night, and it's been really good to see have her behind me on this. And then I'd say my last relationship, and I told y'all a little bit about this last time, but so my junior year, my high school baseball coach passed away,
Mhm.
and he was one of my best friends. He was only 25, so he was not much older than me.
Yeah.
And we had done a lot together. And he's the one that really helped me with my baseball career my junior year.
Yeah.
He was a catcher in high school and college, and
Mhm.
I was never a catcher before that, but he came up to me my junior year and he
Yeah.
was like, "We don't have a catcher, would you like to step up and maybe
Yeah.
help, since we don't have one?" I was like, "I'll do whatever you need." So that off season before my junior year, he took a lot of time to, work with me on that,
Mhm.
and that's why we spent so much time together and we got really close.
Mhm.
And basically, 8 days into the season, I think he passed away from the flu. So it was a very tragic thing, and our entire he worked at the school as well, so our entire school family was heartbroken over that.
Yeah.
But so that was a really positive relationship I've had, and then the relationship from that I continue to carry with his family, his parents, and his
Yeah.
sibling. He had a brother and sister.
Yeah.
They go to our church back home, and his mom also taught at the school. She taught me in 6th grade.
Mm-hmm.
So that relationship from him that I still continue to carry with his family has been very sweet. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's great.
Wrapping up, what is your wisdom for this week?
So going off of our Turning Point mission, and going off of one of Charlie Kirk's biggest things, and this
Mhm.
is something that I have learned from Charlie Kirk. He said all the time, freedom is worth fighting for. And I said this last night when I was making my speech at our event. And I'm not saying that freedom is worth fighting for is the wisdom I'm giving. I'm saying that basically, if you want something, fight for it. Don't just give up. And this is something my grandpa taught me too, like I was saying earlier. Don't just give up. Don't just let it go. Fight for what you believe in. Fight for what your dreams are. And God will take care of the rest. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
Yes.
Mhm.
It really has.
Hope you have a great week.
Thank you. Y'all too.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for listening. Really appreciate it. We've got some more great episodes coming up, so stay tuned. But yeah, we've enjoyed having you on, and we hope to see more of you in Turning Point.
Absolutely. Thank you. It's been good to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you.